Sitting nice and tall, so pressing through your sitting bones, lifting up through your core. Inhaling deeply, exhaling completely. And then following your breath, starting to deepen the count. So maybe you'll come to the inhale of 5, pause for 1, and exhale for 7. Pause for 1. And some people might find that they just want to get moving and get on with class, but pranayama is very obviously important because prana is our life force, so your breath. Yama is to control. But we're helping one way where, particularly in this time when we have these lung issues going around, but to try and is to deepen your breath, is to help reduce stress, but also slowing things down and bringing your focus just to the count or to your sound of your breath. Powerfully bringing you into the present, so staying mindful. Okay, lowering your head, and on the next exhalation, at the bottom, blinking your eyes open. Sorry about sounds off to the right of Raffles scratching, etc. Licking. Raffles, stop it. So, going to work on hips and hamstrings today. So soles of the feet together. Holding onto your ankles. You can stay up if you're up on a block or your prop, whatever. You can, it's easier if you do raise your hips a little so that you can try and get your knees roughly to the same height as your hips. Us runners find it's a difficult pose because of the way we're tightening our hip flexors and our hamstrings. So we're going to open through there. So press through your sit bones and push your hips forward. And gently squeeze your glutes so you can feel your abductors are taking the outer thighs outwards. And then you're going to reach the chest forward. So still keeping that lift up through the spine, but reach forward. See if you can get your forearms or your elbows onto your thighs. Deepening that stretch. And then bring your hands around your feet. So you're reaching forward a little more, but try not to collapse in. We're still at the moment, still trying to bring. So still trying to keep that lift through the chest, press the hips forward, and then start to fold in. So now when you've got your hips in position, your heels in it quite near your bottom, you're starting to round, and now really squeeze your core. So tuck your belly in, relax your head down, still using your elbows or forearms on your legs, curling in. And then inhale, lift the chest up, straighten, sit up, take your hands to the outside of your thighs, bring your thighs in, and come off the block, come into child's pose. Knees wide, toes touching, sitting back, towards your heels, rest your head and the tip of your nose on the mat, press your palms in, push your palms away from you so you can feel your hips coming more towards your heels, feeling that lovely stretch through your spine. And then inhale, coming to tabletop, and then coming up to the front of the mat. We're going to do 2 Surya Namaskar A, 2 Sun Salute A, standing in mountain. Feel the lift, pressing through the soles of your feet, lifting up through your thighs, kneecaps lift, your Mula Bandha, your reach lock lifting, pelvic floor, Uddiyana Bandha, navel to spine. Inhale, look up, lean back slightly. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift, extending the spine. Exhale, palms down, stepping back, roll forward into plank, pushing up between the shoulder blades, lowering through Chaturanga. Inhale, Cobra, tops of the feet pressing in, hugging the elbows to your side and lowering them to your waist. Then lowering down, tuck your toes under, lift up your hips. Stay up on your toes, bend your knees, push through your palms so the hips come higher, and then lowering your heels one at a time, just slowly walking the dog. Feeling that stretch through the backs of the calves. And starting to deepen your breath, Ujjayi breath, breath with sound, with your mouth closed. Inhale, up on your toes, bend your knees, look forward. Come forward to halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, palms down, stepping back, roll into plank, press up between your shoulder blades. Tip onto your tiptoes, chest coming forward, Chaturanga, pause, lower to the mat. Inhale to Cobra. Exhale, tuck your toes. Coming up into down dog. Take 3 breaths. Ujjayi breath. Inhale, up on your toes, bend your knees, look forward. Come forward to halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. So now, feet are hip distance apart. Bend your knees deeply, rest your chest on your tummy on your thighs. Take your 2 first fingers and your thumb and wrap them or hook around your big toes. Relax your head down, take your elbows out to the side and lift your hips. So using your core here to tip the front of the pelvis forward, so you're trying to take your tailbone between your legs. You might not get to straight legs, but just to the point where you can really feel the hamstrings working, and you don't want any pain near the top or the bottom of the hamstrings, so around the joints, or where they insert into the joint. So we're just trying to stretch the belly of the muscle. Any pain towards the joints, then you come out of it. Push too far. So relax the head, take your elbows out to the side, using your core. And then inhale, bend your knees. Release your hands, bring your hands to your hips, squeeze your elbows towards each other, coming up. And then you're going to take your left foot back, pyramid pose. So not back too far. So now your feet are hip distance apart, point the left toes towards the side of the mat and forward. Hands to hips, and then swivel your hips to the front of the mat. You might want to have your block with you on the inside of your foot. So now you want your hips facing forward, lift up strongly through the thighs, lift up through the chest, and then reach forward. So don't take your hips back or twist at the hips. You're trying to level the hips to the front of the mat, keep lifting up strongly through the thighs, then reach the chest forward. That might be enough. You might feel that lovely stretch down the back and side of that front leg, but keep lifting the kneecap. So you don't want to hyperextend, stretching through the back of the knee. So keep lifting up, reaching forward. If it feels good, and you can keep your hips level, so you can fold a bit further forward, come down to your block, whichever height feels good. But keep bringing that right thigh bone back. And if you can bring your fingertips either side of that leg, and then fold towards it. But don't let the right side of the hip come forward. Okay, then inhale. Come out the way you went in, reach the chest forward, thighs are strong, lifting up. Lift up, step the feet back parallel to each other, take the right foot back. Feet hip distance apart, right toes pointing to the side and forward. Hips level to the front, lift up through the thighs, reach the chest forward. Again, use the block or just fold. But keeping the length in the spine, keep the left thigh coming back up into the hip and then folding over that front leg. So Raffles and I we did 9K at the weekend, so good to stretch out the hamstrings. Don't have to keep him on the lead because all those blooming picnickers and their cocktail sausages. Reach the chest forward, lifting up. Exhale, step to the front of the mat. Bend your knees, palms down, step back to down dog. Okay, and again with the hamstrings, if you feel your back is rounding, try and get the back straight first. So lift up onto the toes, bend your knees. Push through the palms, lift up towards your tailbone, use your core, and then start to take your thigh bones back and lowering your heels. It's not about whether your heels can touch the mat, it's how you feel the stretch through the back body. That's it, your thighs and the backs of your thighs, your hamstrings. Okay, and then inhale, right leg comes up high, roll forward into plank, knee to nose, squeeze, and then place the foot between your hands. Drop the left knee down, and you can flatten the foot or stay with the toes up depending on how good that feels on your knee, and then press the thigh forward. So stretching through the hamstring, through the hip flexor on the front here, but also under the right thigh and opening through the hip there. Lift your left arm up, reach over to the right, just releasing through the hip. Keep sinking the hips down. Exhale, palms down, tuck the back foot under. Right leg goes up behind, lower the left heel. So really feeling that stretch up through, you'll feel the calf maybe more. And then inhale and exhale, place the right foot next to the left. Inhale, lift the left up. Roll forward into plank, knee to nose. Keep that lift, squeeze the knee up and the heel, And then place the foot between your hands. Drop the right knee down. Coming up into low lunge, sinking the hips down. And then reach the right arm up, lean over to the left. And then exhale, palms down. Tuck the right toes under, lifting up. Take the left leg back up behind you, lower the right heel. Place the left foot down. And then walk your feet towards your hands. Coming up. So if you have your block, place it in front, about a foot in front of your right foot. We're going to come into Ardha Chandrasana, so half moon. So this is very strong on the leg. So if you don't have a block there, you can just reach to the ground, but it makes it harder. So you can move towards a piece of furniture. But ideally something that's, yeah, it doesn't matter if it's higher, it just makes it easier for you. So we're going to start taking the left foot back, bend the right knee, reach for your prop. So placing your, don't grip it, just place your hand on top of it as if it was the floor. And now take your left hand to your hip, lift up through your right leg. So now flex the left foot. So it's flexing at the ankle, toes coming towards your shin. Keep lifting up strongly through the right leg, and then start to revolve the left leg out. So you're turning the left thigh outwards, the toes are going to start pointing out to the side. Reach your chest forward, so feel that connection from the foot on the ground, that energy coming up, extend through the chest. Start to open, so you're rolling the left side of the rib cage open. If you can, you'll release the top hand up. Oh, hard to look at the telly and at the laptop hand. Okay, so you're trying to open to the side. Imagine you were leaning against a wall, and in fact you can do that. If you were there at the wall, you can lean back against the wall. It helps this pose. You're trying to get the back leg level with the chest, hips, foot level, leaning back, opening through the hip, and then inhale. As you exhale, bend the standing leg, place the foot down next to each other, fold forward for a moment. Okay, then bringing your fingertips to the ground, or if you can, putting your palms down. You're going to take the left leg back, and then start to reach your chest forward. You're going to come into a standing split, which won't be a split, but you'll feel how strongly, well, might be if you're really flexible, you'll have your top leg in line with your bottom leg. But that doesn't happen with me. But you're bringing your weight through the right foot, bend the right knee first. You're going to start lifting up, lifting the back leg. And now you're going to, from your fingertips, you can walk them away from you a little if it helps. But start to bend your elbows backwards and lift the back leg. So you can still keep bending through the right leg, standing leg if it helps. But now lifting up through the right leg. But instead of like half moon, Ardha Chandrasana, you're not rolling the left thigh out. You're trying to roll, so internally rotate the left thigh. And flex the foot to keep it, the leg strong, and then walk your fingertips back towards your right foot. Start to squeeze your core, try to bring your chest towards your thigh, lift your top leg. And then inhale, walk the fingertips away from you again and try and float the left foot next to the right. And then push it down, bend your knees, ragdoll. Hold on to your elbows. It's a toughie. And then inhale, coming up slowly. I have no idea what time it is. Let me just check. Oh, we're late. I hope you're all right with that. Just do the other side. So half moon and standing split. I'll show you from the other side. So putting your block in front of the left foot. Okay, take the right foot back, just touching the toes down, bend through the left knee, reach for the block, palm on the block, right hand to your right hip, and then start to lift the back leg, standing up, so now starting to straighten through the left leg. Flex the right ankle and externally rotate the right thigh. Start to lift the right side of the chest up. And then if you want to, you don't have to, but releasing the top hand. So trying to, okay, hope you're not looking at me, it's not happening here today on the left side. Okay. Okay, and then bring, now not to do Ardha Chandrasana, and then floating the right foot down, hovering next to the left foot, and then place the foot down. Bend your knees a little, fingertips to the ground, just hang your head. Hands to your hips. Inhale, straighten the legs. Coming up. So, as we can see, work in progress, and you will find that there's one side is way better than the other, and that's just how our bodies tend to be, and especially first thing in the morning. So this is actually a toughie first thing in the morning, so apologies for that, but as I have you now, we're doing it now. So now we're going to come into the standing split. So bending down, fingertips in front of your, and to the side of your feet. So take the right toes back, lift up through the left thigh. Okay, and then we're going to internally rotate the right thigh, flex the toes to point down, flex at the ankle, keep lifting strongly up through the left thigh. So feeling the difference in how half moon we were opening through the hip, and now we closed at the hip, but it's helping to stretch the hamstrings and also walk the fingertips back towards the front foot, and you're going to fold. So trying to squeeze your core, lift up through the thigh, the back thigh. Walk your fingertips in a little more. Relax your hand down. So really squeeze the forearms towards each other as well. It helps to ground that front foot. Keep lifting up high through the back leg, and then inhale, bend the standing leg, hover that right foot next to the left, place it down, bend your knees, ragdoll. Hold on to your elbows, hang your head. Okay, and then release your arms down and just come to sit. Facing me. So that might have been quite intense for the hips and hamstrings this morning, but hopefully that's warmed you up a little. And thanks very much proud of you for reading my emails and getting here this morning. So maybe I've got some others that are waiting, but I hope to see you, and let me know about the new schedule if it works for you, and thoughts, etc. If constructive comments are good. Okay, closing your eyes, inhaling deeply, exhaling completely. Bring your palms together at your heart center, lowering your head and opening your eyes. Namaste.